All right, guys, so we're gonna go over the lumbar next. So my lumbar vertebrae take on the look of a moose. Okay, so here I have my nose of my moose, my ears are right here, and these up here are my antlers. All right, you can look at it from the lateral view as well, and it looks slightly like a moose. Okay, so one of the things that stands out for the lumbar is that our lumbar are weight-bearing. They're our last 5 vertebrae in our column, and they carry all the weight of the upper torso. So the body portion is much thicker and wider in the lumbar as opposed to what you would see in the thoracic. So looking at them in comparison, right, this is the thickness of the lumbar compared to the thoracic. All right, so the lumbar are much wider and thicker, than what we see in the thoracic vertebrae, which is one of the things that can help you identify them. All right, another thing that's unique about the lumbar is the shape of the spinous process. So the spinous process would be the nose in my lumbar vertebrae, all right, and the spinous process is very wide, all right, and thin. All right, so again, it takes on the shape of the nose of a moose, so it's very long and thin, as opposed to what you would see in the thoracic vertebrae. The spinous process is very small and sort of sharp, all right, so it lacks the thickness that you would see in the lumbar spinous process. All right, so it has a different shape to the spinous process. And over here, along the transverse plane, the ears would be the transverse process. So it has very similar features to the thoracic, but one of the ways you can tell the thoracic from the lumbar, aside from the thick body and the shape of the spinous process, is that you would not find any rib facets on the lumbar vertebrae. Okay, so remember that that is a feature that you would only see on the thoracic. All right, so the lumbar have the spinous process, they have the transverse processes, and they have the body, but the body is thicker and the shape of the spinous process is much different. So the last portion of our vertebrae is made up of something called the sacrum and the coccyx. So our last lumbar vertebrae, our L5, articulates right here with the sacrum. All right, so you guys are looking at the anterior view right now. All right, so the sacrum will eventually, on the lateral aspects of it, connect to the parts of the pelvis. All right, so this whole piece that I'm holding that you can see right here in my video is called the sacrum. So the only features that you need to be aware of on the sacrum are the foramina, which, remember, a foramina is a hole. Okay, so we call those the sacral foramina. The very last portion of our sacrum is this piece right here that my fingers are covering. This piece is called the coccyx. So the coccyx, the term that you would be familiar with, is the tailbone. All right, so the coccyx articulates with the sacrum eventually, meaning they fuse together. All right, sometimes they can be in separate pieces or they can break off. All right, so these are the last 2 bones that make up the vertebral column. All right, so the sacrum has the sacral foramina, and the coccyx, you only have to know the name of the bone. All right, and this will conclude the rest of everything that you guys need to know for the axial skeleton.